Hello everybody and welcome to another Stellaris video. Today I'm going to be playing Rouge Servitors with Hyper Lubrication Basins. This build is not a mini-max build to maximize your 30 power or anything like that. I just think it's going to be a pretty fun build for a lot of you guys to try in single player, as Rouge Servitors have some of the highest late game scaling potential in the entire game, as for every bio trophy you get, you're able to increase your specialist output by 1% or something per 100 like that. So you can really stack a ridiculous amount of late game power out of your Rogue Servitors. So with that being said, we're playing a pretty standard robot build. Here's our species templates if you want to copy that, and we're playing on Savannah Worlds, as Savannah Worlds are decent for robots, as you do need a lot of energy districts, and you're slightly more likely to find energy districts when you play on a dry planet type. So we're of course doing that. Also, like as I mentioned before, this is not a fully mini-max build. I'm just kind of playing casually through Rogue Servitors just to try it out and kind of see how powerful they are. We're going to stay on also balanced production for a while. Manufacturing focus, of course, sacrifices your specialists or sacrifices your workers in exchange for boosted specialists. But for the early part of the game, we're going to want to focus a little bit more on our specialists, and we're also going to want to buy some minerals, and we're going to want to sell some consumer goods, as we have way too many consumer goods. Also, we can come over to our jobs here and just reduce this to probably like something like 200 artisan drones. We don't need so many, and we also don't need any hunter-seeker drones, so we can go ahead and reduce that as well. And then we want to, make sure we do work as many of our menial drone jobs as possible. And yeah, we're going to go ahead and get started with that. Also, we're going to start off with logistics, just like everything else. We will be using maintenance drones quite a bit for trade and unity. I think that could be a pretty good idea. And yeah, we're gonna not do a full-on Unity rush because I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea the best way to do a full-on Unity rush as a Rogue Servitor. So instead, we're just gonna do a kind of basic, normie, low-skill Unity rush, which will just use maintenance drones. And I believe we can make maintenance drones produce Unity via the simulation site. So we're going to go ahead and do that, and we're going to try to rush modularity as fast as possible because, of course, modularity is really, really strong, so we're going to want to get that as soon as possible. And yeah, we're also going to be looking at trying to get our colony ship up as soon as possible as well, as I think that will be very, very nice. And yeah, we can just prioritize maintenance drones to make sure as many of our bots go into maintenance drone jobs as soon as we can, and that will make us some trade, a marginal amount, which will help us with our basic economy just a little bit. It'll also help with our stability, as your stability is really bad when you play with lubrication basins, right? As lubrication basins is a new civic, in case you haven't played with it yet, it's extremely strong for both individual robots and gestalt robots. And basically how it works is you get boosted pop growth. So if we take a look at our pop growth, we're already assembling at over 10 per month, and this is only going to increase as we add city districts and as long as you have at least one industry specialization on your planet. And what you're going to find is that we are going to really, really quickly, be able to build up nexus districts or city districts, and really, really quickly scale up this planet to having really ridiculous pop assembly, which will be very, very good for us, of course. So let's just go ahead and keep going down the logistics tree. And I think we're also having a good enough basic economy at this point, so we can move our production focus over to complex drones. And yeah, as our Autocathon monument, or our simulation site, I hate how they have different names for every single empire type, but I guess it makes sense thematically. And wow, that is a really good Alpha Centauri with 12 minerals that will help our early game economy a ton, which is really nice to see. So yeah, let's also just make sure we go ahead and build out our mining stations as well, as we're not too strapped for minerals, as you can see. And we're basically just going to start to immediately build nexus districts. And the reason we want to build nexus districts is, as you can see, they do give you some amount of research jobs, which we want. they also give you biotrophy jobs, and we want to make more space for our biotrophies. As you can see, you start off with like you're almost full on biotrophies already, so you will need to immediately start creating new jobs for those biotrophies. Um, and yeah, now that we got 2 points in logistics, I think we're gonna open prosperity now. And as you can see, we're already up to 85 unity per month, which is not terrible. But we will need a lot more. And I think what is the one that makes your maintenance drones produce one extra unity? I think we need to get that too, because 500 jobs for 5 unity is not really a good ratio. It's a ratio, but it's not fantastic. So I think after we take prefabricated buildings to, of course, speed up and cheapen our districts, we can go ahead and look at what we need to get that one extra unit. I believe it's like synchronization or something. Um, but as you know, I'm not a Gestalt main. But yeah, let's also play on fast, I guess. As this is definitely going a little bit slow, and I'm gonna after I run out of stuff to talk about, and like the goals of this build and that kind of thing. Also, I forgot to go over the game settings. We're basically playing an early crisis. We're gonna fight all the crisis at year 35 on 3x. Um, I do think that's not as easy as it sounds, to be honest, because I believe every crisis spawns in at twice the power of the previous one. So hopefully we're ready. I have not fought the crisis yet on Stellaris 4.x patches yet, so we're gonna see how that is. I also want to test out the new Archaeotech ships and see if those are as powerful as um, they say. And of course, if you don't know what I'm talking about, very soon you'll get to see like some Corvette spam meta ship designs that are apparently very strong, but I'm yet to test it out myself, so I'll have to um, confirm whether or not those are as strong as people say. And also, whenever you get leader level ups, whenever you get feedback loop, it is the absolute best. You always should try to go for feedback loop where you can. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and do that. And also, we see Sirius here. We're going to try to take that as soon as possible. And let's take a look at which tradition does give the unity for maintenance drones. I believe it's in here. Nope, it's not. Is it in... where would it be then? I thought it was in synchronicity. Maintenance drone. Okay, if it's not in maintenance drones, I'm not actually exactly sure if it's a tree. It might be a civic. If it's a civic, that's unfortunate because I obviously won't be able to get that. So I think it might have been a civic, or I just don't know where it is, which is obviously a very very likely. Oh, is it versatility? Papa Mandy's usage. Ah, yeah, versatility. So we're gonna go ahead and open versatility and head towards operational proxies, where we get an extra uh, unity per 100 maintenance drones, which will help us get towards our modular ascension fast. Obviously, we don't need to rush tech too hard if we're rushing modular ascension, so there's that. That's pretty fine and dandy. And yeah, we're gonna go ahead and start taking our planets too, and we can also start to take a look at what we want to designate our planets into. Um, this planet is good energy, good minerals, and then this planet. Okay, this planet has nothing but energy, so we should use Sirius as our energy planet. Um, Although we'll also need a tech-focused planet besides our capital. So yeah, we're gonna need to go ahead and see if we can find another planet, and maybe we can turn one of those into our mineral slash energy planet. I think another good option would simply to be splitting one of these planets like Alpha Centauri into energy and minerals for the early game, and then later on trying to find new planets to make them specific to one of the energy sources or one of energy or minerals, as it's always a little bit more efficient. Oh, and we do find a continental world here, which is nice, but it has a terrible districts. Though it's pretty large, so we can actually turn this into a tech world, I guess. As yeah, having a relatively large world for a tech world, which will eventually probably turn into an Ecumenopolis, right? Should be pretty fun. And we're gonna try to make a lot of Ecumenopolises because yeah, they're really really good with Rogue Servitors, of course. So yeah, I did start with Prosperous Unification, but it'd be fully valid and good to start with something like Relic World 2, or even as Void Forged with Habitats, right? But I'm not trying to learn how to play Habitats and Rogue Servitors at the same time. I'm not too interested in that. So Yeah, I wonder how habitats have changed since 4.x, right? Because previously habitats had a pretty unique uh, style to them, right? Where you had to focus a lot on Ascension rushing usually with them, and you had that really nice base alloy output and that insane ability to kind of ignore or like very quickly scale up in tech because you had the research districts, and now they're kind of normal planets where every planet kind of has access to the equivalent of research districts, which is pretty interesting, right? So yeah, anyways, like we're just gonna start filling out these tradition trees now. Um, and yeah, 124 Unity is pretty good. I think we're finding the voice. Our finding the voice isn't even active yet, right? Which is uh, yeah, pretty nice. So once that's active, we're gonna have even more Unity. Um, and evaluator jobs. Do evaluators give amenities or Unity? Let's find out. I don't actually even know. Um, as you can see, I really don't play just stealth very often. Ah, they produce Unity. Perfect. Well, let's go ahead and prioritize that, as we're going to want as many evaluators as possible. And yeah, that should help our Unity a lot as well. Let's see what we go to. 144 now. Very, very nice. And yeah, we're going to continue to also just like look for planets everywhere. Planets are, of course, very important. Oh, and I'm playing on fast, so the colony ships come out so fast. Yeah, once again, I'm not even trying to play well or mini-max, but um, yeah, we're just going to kind of go through. Um, and, ooh, another ocean world. Let's take a look at that. That is a terrible resource world. Every world which has terrible resource districts will basically become a tech world. Um, Especially once we modular ascend and we have access to high amounts of habitability on every planet. It should be very, very nice for us. And yeah, we're going to go ahead and reduce upkeep from jobs. As you can see, our energy credit situation is not fantastic, although we can just prioritize drones there, energy drones, and that will probably fix the issue. Um, let's see, Trickster, automated replay system, and yeah, let's just slow down for a second. Just take a look at how fast our pop assembly is getting already. We're already at 14 pop assembly here at year 6, and all we've done is basically build nexus districts on our home planet, which is really crazy if you think about it, right? Like previously, you need to be synthetically ascended to have that level of pop assembly, and we're here doing it at year 6, kind of casually for fun, which is just really, really, really amazing to see. Um, yeah, a lot of these new changes have sped up the game a bit, which I think is overall a good thing. I do think that the difference in power between the good and bad builds has never been higher, in a sense. Yeah, when you see newer players playing in multiplayer or something, I find that you go overwhelming to them much faster than you used to, simply because like if you Ascension rush versus if you just play normally and like build ships in the early game and that kind of thing, the power level difference is incredibly immense. Um, and I do think the game, like for multiplayer at least, the game has never been balanced for multiplayer. Stellaris has always been a single player focused game. I think 99.7% of people never play more than like an hour or two of multiplayer. Something ridiculous. I don't have the exact numbers on hand, but I've seen the statistics before, right? Most people who play Stellaris just play single player, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I actually really liked Stellaris when I first started playing, and one of the main reasons was this was one of the games that I personally had the most fun on in single player. There's very few offline games that I would consider very, very fun or like non PvP games, and Stellaris was one of them because I like just sitting back and exploring the galaxy. Um, yeah, building up my power, and it was fun. And like I used to also not really role play, but just like I guess LARP as like space cat girls, which I thought was just a really hilarious idea, right? That like like a kind of silly, goofy uh, cat girl species could become like the strongest like intergalactic empire. I just love that idea. So um, yeah, it's one of the reasons I did play a lot. I have a lot of hours in this game, maybe a bit too many. Yeah, anyhow, as you can see, we have a good amount of trade here. So we can even reduce the sell, and we can also just buy any resource we start to need, which is very, very nice thanks to our plethora of maintenance drones. that are also now producing a good amount of Unity. Not amazing, 43 point something Unity per month. Um, but yeah, this will help us get our Ascension pretty quickly, to be honest. It's probably going to be like year 25 to 30, something like that. And yeah, our tech really does suck. Um, but yeah, we're going to try not to worry too much about how much our tech sucks and just focus on yeah, building up our planets here and that kind of thing. Ooh, we're really close to another empire here, probably. So we can go ahead and make contact with them. But what we do want to do is we want to take the Weir system. Um, and we want to take the Weir system immediately because we do not want them to cut us off. So let's buy some alloys here. And then we can at least secure this little area to ourselves, where we'll have at the minimum 5 or 6 planets, which is nice. I don't want to go too wide, as while going wide is inherently better in Stellaris. It's not as fun because you just have to manage so much, and it can be a little bit of a hassle. And I'm going to do something really funny here. Is I'm actually going to put a heavy industry as my first district specialization on this planet. And the reason I want to do that um, is because I want this planet to be heavily focused on producing pops, right? And your pop production scales a lot with having an industrial area at all, which is just a very, very funny quirk of the way the way like the builds work these days, right? Which is it's not it's pretty unusual, but it's just for the hyper lubrication base, and you need to have um, both a mixed industry building and as many city districts as you can to get the most possible bonus to your pop assembly. As you can see, we're already at 16 on our homeworld, which is really ridiculous, and we're going to start to demolish our mining districts in exchange for more minerals too, which is pretty funny. As you can see, we're starting to lack a lot of menial drones. And something what we're going to do is we're just going to deprioritize stuff like artisans, right? And that'll save us some minerals. We're going to reduce the amount of fabricators we have. Um, and ooh, we're losing 25, but we can just stop selling so many, right? And we can even start buying some. And same with alloys, right? If we need more alloys for star bases, for colony ships, etc., yeah, a good option here will simply be to buy them. Um, and yeah, like we're still making 50 minerals or 80. A lot of that is thanks to the really lucky 15 from Alpha Centauri. Otherwise, we would need to move some of our maintenance drones into uh, mining drones, but we don't have to do that yet because we were pretty lucky. Also, once this is done, once you have a organic sanctuary on a new planet, just go ahead and move over a bunch of your biotrophies, maybe like 4 to 500. Um, and what that does is it'll give you a okay amount of pop growth. We're only getting 1 point something pop growth, right, in biotrophies on this planet, but you'll get like literally none if you don't move it over, and you will lose a little bit on your homeworld too, but it's all fine. It's a part of the game. Also, for our Ascension perks, I'm going to take very late game focused Ascension perks. I'm not going to go um, like One Vision or something like that. I'm going to go Imperial Prerogative, as you do want to keep your empire size from planets down as a robot, as you're incentivized to go wide. Um, so you do get quite a bit of benefit from reducing your empire size from planets, as we're going to be taking quite a few planets. And let's go ahead and just start colonizing Weir here, as we have this planet ready to be colonized. So let's go ahead and colonize that, and also do another ship like that. And yeah, as you can see, we already have enough pops on this planet to start upgrading the deployment post, which is fun. But we're gonna just turn this into a generator world. Uh, as yeah, we're gonna need extra power. Um, our tech, as you can see, is not very good at all, but we're not focusing too hard on it, so I shouldn't be worried about that. And let's take a look at our Unity now that we also finished our agenda here, finding the voice that gives plus 40% Unity. And yeah, we're over 200 Unity as a just stalled build, which is very, very cool, to be honest. And yeah, as you can see, 9 months for the rest of this tradition tree. We should be done this these three traditions by like year 20 or something like that, giving us, like 10 years or something like that to click Ascension, which is plenty, to be honest. And let's just also just every new planet, we can even just like expensive buy some minerals if we want to build three buildings, which is both of our uh, both of our buildings for increasing pop assembly in hyperlubrication basins and a machine assembly plant. And then from there, you're going to want to build a organic sanctuary. You can also change the order up. Once again, like I have not mini-maxed anything to do with just alt builds, as I just don't play them enough for me to confidently say that what I'm doing is the best or a good thing. So yeah, but what I can confidently say is we will scale like crazy um, if we're given the chance, which will be really fun, to be honest. So let's go ahead and also like hire another scientist, as we want to start scanning some of these systems near us and connect up our empire, so it's not like a hodgepodge of random disconnected systems. Which, I know this annoys some people, and yes, it annoys me too. But unfortunately, it's the most alloy efficient way to play the game, and I don't want to waste too many resources on alloys in the early game. Um, Anyhow, we're also going to kind of go into a bit of a lull here, so I'm going to go ahead and cut until we're getting close to Ascension. So I'll be right back. I thought I'd also do a little quick update here. It's year 14, and we finished our second tradition tree, and I'm trying to decide what I want to take here. I believe I simply want to go with something that scales very well into the late game. Um, so something like enigmatic engineering is something I'll definitely want, as it's fun. So we're gonna take that, and we can get the fallen empire buildings without taking cosmogenesis and going crisis. I believe so. Yep, that's gonna be super super nice indeed. Also, quick update on these planets. Right, is what we've been doing is we're simply just continuing to build out. We're just continuously building city districts on our home planet here. And we need to also continuously come and reduce the amount of artisan drones you're doing and that kind of thing, and the amount of fabricators. So we just don't need this many. They burn up a lot of minerals if you let them um, go like too much. Also, you might need to build a drone storage on some of your colonies to keep up the amenities. As you can see, the amenities here is really poor. And we've also decided to dedicate Cirrus Prime to a tech world, so we've added an engineering specialization. It does mean that this planet will kind of permanently have a lower amount of pop growth compared to if I let this planet do like Alpha Centauri, where I build a heavy industry, but I simply need the building slots for tech worlds, right? So we do need to build tech at some point. So yeah, we're definitely going to be doing that, and we've also gone ahead and colonized yet another ocean world, which we're going to need to build up as well. So we're going to go ahead and start doing that. Add a lubrication basin, a machine assembly plant, and a biotrophy building, which you guys are probably starting to get the gist of it here. It's not too bad, and yeah, it won't be too long until we can finish evolving. Alright, welcome back everybody. I just wanted to do a little quick update as we are getting very close. We're 5 months away from logistics being done, and then we'll be able to start our synthetic tree, of course, after that. We're doing quite well. We did accidentally get crime on our capital, but as you can see, I've just been slowly replacing all the extra districts, and we're at 20 pop assembly already. Whoa, we get a probe here. Doesn't really matter what you say, they will be hostile, which is really annoying. Did they cut off our empire? Oh, they're only a tiny little fleet. We can just go ahead and take care of that. That's not too big of a deal. Um, Also, we're slowly expanding out into the galaxy, which is nice as well. And we just take a look at some of these planets. Well, this one is brand new, of course, so we don't have much on it, and we're just gonna, do the normal thing of lubrication plant, and a little organic sanctuary. And then if we take a look at our research planet, our first one, it's pretty good. We don't quite have enough pop assembly here, as we're only getting 7 pop assembly on our colonies. Yeah, because we're not building city districts, we don't get as big of a efficiency boost to them. Uh, right, so that'll take some time to scale up. But on our capital with 20 pop assembly, right, that is a late game amount of pop assembly already. And of course, it's going to get even better as the day goes on. So yeah, with that in mind, logistics is now done. Let's go ahead and click synthetic age and start our synthesization situation. Um, we probably don't really have enough Unity to go with the extra fast Ascension speed. So we're just going to go ahead and leave this on regular. As you can see, we're down to 210 Unity with Evolving Society running out too, which is a bit of a shame, as it was really nice producing nearly 300 Unity and 300 tech. But our Unity will still keep crawling up as we get more and more maintenance drones producing, a mediocre amount of tech. But hey, it does help a lot. And also the trade is actually helping a ton as well. And we get another network relay level, which is great because that is actually going to give us more evaluators, and evaluators are really efficient. And we have like crime issues. Um, hmm. There's no decision to make hunter seeker drones any more efficient, which does suck. But we'll get access to more hunter seeker drones when our colonial centralization is done, as we're going to get some crime issues here. We do also want to sacrifice tech speed. We also got a lot of good techs, so if we go into our research, we can see we've got machine template system. This will be really important for after we modular ascend. We of course need to actually modify our pops. And of course we're now rolling arc furnace. That is helped a lot by the fact that if we take a look at our government, um, we have quite a few nodes with the Spark of Genius, and your chance of rolling arc furnaces goes up dramatically if you have access to the Sparks of Genius. So I would highly recommend that as well. Also, as you can see, our energy credit situation is a bit sketchy, but we can just kind of balance them out between those two there. Um, so that's not too bad. Yeah, on our capital, I don't really want to get rid of more of these generator districts yet. I guess we can move pops over from our capital to Alpha Centauri Prime here. Um, and this will slow down our Unity a little bit, but it'll give us access. Ooh. I don't want to make the salvagers angry yet. I don't think so. Let's not anger them too much. Also, you can see we have another planet here, and this is actually a pre-FTL planet, and we can actually take this planet and get some free bio trophies later on. In fact, we can just do it now, I guess. There's no harm in that, and we do need to change our first contact protocol. So, first contact protocol shall be aggressive, and that should allow us to invade planets. We might have to change some other like interference things too. Let's see. Yep, our FTL interference policy does not allow this, so we're going to turn that to aggressive interference so we can actually invade them and take their land. Poor guys. But hey, you do what you need to do in order to scale. And let's also take a look at if they have a good amount of energy districts. No, we're really not blessed with any good energy planets so far. And I'm kind of thinking, like, are any of these good energy? This is a decent energy planet, actually. So, yeah, we can use that as a long-term energy planet. And this will probably be converted into a long-term mineral world, although it's doing a lot of heavy lifting for our energy currently, as our energy situation would not be very good without it. So, um, yeah, let's take a look at it. Oh, we don't have a ship in any of those planets, so we don't have vision of that. But yeah, let's just get a colony ship ready. Let's go ahead and just like raw buy the resource. And this is why it's really good to have a source of trade, as when you need to do this, you can just raw buy the resources you need. And as you can see, we've kind of stalled out in the buildings we're building as well, as we simply don't have pops to occupy a lot of the jobs we're creating. So we don't want to do no tech at all. But yeah, as we get colonial centralization, that'll actually give us something to do with our pops, which is, or with our resources, is we need to build administrative arrays. Um, and that should be quite helpful. Monthly influence, monthly envoy, edict fund will help a lot too. Yeah, as you can see, we're kind of right up against our edict cap with just capacity subsidies, and we're going to eventually probably want mineral subsidies as well. Yeah, do I want to build city districts on this planet? Not really, as I do want to kind of reserve them for our economy districts, as we're going to need a lot of basic economy districts before we get like late game techs like mega engineering and that kind of stuff to carry us through that. And yeah, we're gonna also like probably want to build arc furnaces soon. Um, but yeah, we're gonna have a problem with our alloys. So maybe we need to start producing some alloys. As yeah, rogue servitors do produce alloys very efficiently, to be honest. And we do have extra minerals, so let's just go ahead and enable some fabricator jobs, and that should give us a small trickle of alloys that we can use to more easily build some arc furnaces. Yeah. And yeah, as you can see, that does cut into our minerals quite a bit. And we also get access to yet another machine world, which we're just going to use as probably yet another tech world. As you can see, yeah, we have a lot of planets that will be tech worlds. Um, but yeah, I simply think it's worth it, right? As tech is the key to get into late game. And yeah, we just do need to find those basic resource worlds to balance it out, of course. So yeah, one good basic resource planet might be able to get us all the way to the end game. So yeah, this can become a really good mineral planet later on. For now, of course, it's going to be a little bit focused on our energy situation, as our energy situation is not fantastic. Um, but anyhow, yeah, I'm going to bulk buy some alloys here, um, simply to speed up like taking these colonies and that kind of thing, as I do want to get that done as soon as possible. So yeah, anyhow, we're just going to be grinding through the situation here. It's going to take quite a while, so I'll be back when that's done. All right, and like a few hours later, I'm back. I don't remember exactly what I was up to, but it looks like we're in our situation here. So yeah, why are we making so many consumer goods too? Yeah, we definitely don't need that many consumer goods. Yeah, we're probably adjusting that a little bit, as that would be pretty good there. And it looks like we're also getting industry expertise or propulsion. We'll probably take industry. Um, Oh, I just realized I'm still in Discord, so let me get out of there. We don't need to be in Discord as well. All right, let's go. Let's see what we're up to. 100 hunter seeker drones. I don't think we need any hunter seeker drones on our colonies here. I don't think we need any logistics drones either. Instead, we can focus them all into basic resources, which, as you can see, we still are, lacking a little bit of energy credits. And I also believe we did start our arc furnace in our capital here, and I don't particularly see a fantastic second arc furnace system yet. The highest I saw is like 13, I believe. But I have scouted around to see if I could find anything amazing, and it really didn't seem like it. So yeah, there was a 13. Um, Anyhow, wow, we just keep running into so many different planets. This is another excellent mineral planet. So we probably should start to survey that, and also survey down here to try to get that into our main area here. And as you can see, like our empire, I see why I haven't taken it yet, is because an amoeba seems to be flying in and out of that area. Um, Anyhow, I think we should be able to pretty easily try to get rid of that amoeba at some point. But we also do get the Research Institute here for biology, which seems excellent. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start building a chemical plant, a exotic gases plant, and eventually a moat plant as well. Oh no, this is already moats, and eventually a crystal plant um, here on this energy world, actually, as we have the heavy industry here to get these small boost in pop assembly. Although we need actual city districts to really get that in full swing. What is our capital at now? 21, which is pretty awesome to see. And there's still a few energy districts here which we're yet to get rid of. But before we do that, I think we obviously need to figure out this energy situation. Alpha Centauri is our main energy planet currently. So let's go ahead and just prioritize the energy menial drones here. And hopefully we're still positive in minerals. So I think we should be. We're not using too many minerals, and we can start to rely on our arc furnace instead. Um, and yeah, not bad. Binary motivators is also great. 3 extra trait picks will be awesome. Pop assembly speed here, or Starhold. Starhold is great, but I do want to maximize pop assembly speed, as it is pretty fun. So um, yeah, also when we get colonies like this, we can just go ahead and move over some cat cube drones. As you can see, they're really stacking up just to get the assembly speed up to kind of standard, or at least the maximum you can get without building too many city districts on a new planet, right? And these planets will start to specialize as our basic economy gets better. And I think we need to basically pick one of these worlds to be a new energy planet, and one of these to be a new mining planet. Let's see, this is a size 21 world with a healthy amount of energy districts and even more mining districts. And then this planet here has tons of mineral districts and plus minerals from jobs. So I'm wondering if we should make, we should reshape as modular upgrades. We don't want to go virtual as it's obviously a little bit strong and we're a bit too wide for that as well. But yeah, we can just decide whether we want to make this size 14 into a mining world. I think we want the size 14 as a mining world and the really large planet somewhere like it was this tropical world as a size 21. Yeah, that could be an energy planet. And that way we'll have a lots of basic resources for the future. And basically every world with terrible basic districts, we can just turn into some generally good planet with tech. As you can see, we've already started to specialize all these planets, which is really nice. And we're focusing on engineering for now. And once we get to renewables, not renewable, what is it called? Repeatable techs, then we'll swap over to physics, as physics gives us a much better source of renewables, right? The energy weapon upgrades are amazing for late game. Although if we go with a Corvette missile build, we could also go for refreshing our engineering techs late game, as refreshing our engineering techs late game will give us a really good source of explosive damage. But we'll probably automate tech too because, yeah, it's going to be very difficult to have enough of it at that stage of the game. And as you can see, we're kind of running out of trade. But I'm just going to buy 750 alloys just to get this arc furnace started. As if we can get that arc furnace starting to produce more minerals, then we won't have to focus so much of our actual basic economy out of it. And we did lose this planet to this other empire here. It's not a big deal. Any biological empires near us are honestly a long-term source of biotrophies, as we don't grow the biotrophies quite fast enough to make them really worth it. Like, what are we getting? 0.41 growth here. Not really out of this world, so yeah. Alright, we're back after a little interruption there. Sorry about that. But yeah, our situation is almost done, and I'm wondering if I should wait for these binary motivators to redo my pops, but I think the new pop system makes it a lot more forgiving to redo your pops multiple times. So yeah, we won't have to worry about that. And I think this can be our secondary mineral world. And then our main energy planet can be that size 20 planet we found back there. I think that would be probably a good way to do our planets. And I think also we should just allow a few more artisan drones and a few more fabricators. It will cost us minerals, but we're going to be getting these minerals back from our arc furnace very soon, so that's nice. And our situation is going along nicely, and yeah, as you can see, we're getting some extra tech jobs, and our tech is not very good. Like you can get 400 tech with unemployment clones at like year, I don't know, 4, maybe 3. Right, so obviously not super competitive in that sense. We're mostly just farming other things, right? So yeah, I guess we can do just more physics or engineering specializations. And perfect, we are now a modular pop. And let's go ahead and just rush towards, +1 unity per biotrophy. Or we could get our advanced species modification immediately, which does sound fun. I forget, do you get a virtual power plant from, we do, right? So we get dark matter. I didn't actually know because I played Gestalt so little. I don't actually know if we got a virtual power plant, which is funny. And we're just going to make our way towards advanced tools here. Oh my gosh, that is expensive. Maybe we should have went for the Unity first. But yeah, I'm kind of lazy, so I'm going to wait till we get binary motivators for the +3 trait picks, and I'll be back when that happens. Alright, everyone, so our nebula, or not our nebula, what was I? Yeah, I was just observing the fact that my homeworld is in a nebula, which I didn't really notice. But yeah, our advanced tools is finally here, 30-something months later. And I need to sneeze. And, yeah, what is it? Do we have binary motivators researched? I believe it's close. Yeah, so in 8 months, we'll have binary motivators. And basically, the reason I waited is there's a very, very cool tech that we're going to do with our pops, right? And so we're going to create one species to assemble, and we're going to create a second species with all the positive traits we can get on one pop. And then we're going to use that to really, really maximize the efficiency of what we're doing. And also, as you can see, we've decided to make this a
dedicated mineral world. We're probably going to make this a dedicated tech world, and all these are dedicated tech worlds. So I'm also going to go ahead and name all of these off camera so that maybe it'll be a little bit less confusing. Um, all right, everyone, I'm back. So one little trick I like to do when renaming planets and such is I will give them the resource allocation, for example, tech, and I'll leave the actual name in there. I forgot to do it for Cirrus for some reason. And the reason I do this is that way when I'm building rings around the planet and that kind of thing, it's easy to find, oh, Cirrus Prime, that's in the Cirrus system, you know, or mineral R for Mike, right? Then I can go look, oh, there's the R for Mike system. Um, so yeah, it just makes things easier to find in general, and I would recommend doing something similar if you want to make your bases and stuff easy to find throughout the galaxy, and it helps as you scale up in size. Um, Anyhow, our binary voter race is indeed done, so let's go ahead and do our species modification now. So the first thing we're going to want to do is create a template that's meant to be assembled. For your assembly template, of course, you want to remove any negative assembly traits. That's pretty obvious. But you want to give it monoform, and very importantly, you want to give it adaptive frames. And then we're going to give it every other assembly trait we can find. There should be one more, I believe, and that is I'm not. Do we get access to it as a non-bio ascended gestalt, which is biometric assembly? Okay, we do. And then we just want to fill out the traits. It doesn't really matter with what. Um, but let's just say living metal augmentation. And let's also add another trait, like uncanny, and then add another trait on top of that. Let's go with durable. This will just give this a very high quote-unquote assembly score. So we're going to call this the cat cube assembly. And now the game will prioritize this species when trying to assemble pops. So if we go ahead and take a look at this, and we take a look at our estimated monthly assembly, what are we assembling? We're assembling the cat cube assembly. Take a look at this. Estimated next assembly next month, cat cube assembly 29. Very, very nice. Now, what do I want to do after that is I want to go ahead and do my main species, and then we're going to create another template, and we're going to get rid of all assembly traits because we don't need them, and adaptive frames, very importantly. Otherwise, the game will try to assemble these pops. And then we're going to give it two negative assembly traits, luxurious and custom made. This will discourage the AI from assembling, and it'll also give us some free points to work with. And then we're going to take all efficiency traits. So shielded components is amazing. Dark matter engines is amazing, of course. We don't want to give it biometric assembly. We want to give it exotic gas consumption. If you're worried about alloys, which we are not in particular, you can give it a rare crystal trait there. And we are not, as we're going to focus on tech, so we're going to go with inquisitive axioms. And we still have some traits left, which is really, really nice. I'm thinking durable is nice for reduced upkeep, and we can even go ahead and pick one more set of traits. So we're going to go with uncanny and probably rare crystal exterior. I don't have rare crystal tech yet, so instead we're just going to pick something generally good. Learning algorithms, maybe matrix trading. It's not too important. Let's just go ahead and go with engineering core, as I like engineering tech. And let's save this, and this will be our main cat cube, and then we'll set this as the default species of our empire. And now what we can do is we can set every other species of our empire to integrate into the default subspecies. So now we will assemble these guys, the cat cube assemblies, which will then immediately integrate into these really, really stupidly efficient pops, which will have near 100% habitability on every planet. And we'll quickly see our stats start to rise as this happens. And we still have some planets that are unoptimized. Why are we assembling cat cubes here? That's concerning. We should be assembling cat cube assemblies. Cat cube assembly, cat cube assembly. Oh, you know what it is our cat cube assembly actually has lower habitability on many planets than our main cat cube. So the game sees it as not a great option. So we're going to actually modify our cat cube assembly template. Let's Um, Another thing we can do is, okay, we just go to the cat cube assembly template, and then we'll go with create template, and we'll just make one for wet worlds, and then we'll save that, and then we'll create a new template, or modify this one, and just resave it, right? And then we'll also want to set the species rights of these into integrate into default subspecies, which it should be by default, I believe. And now the game should recognize that we have cat cube assemblies for every kind of world, and we should get cat cube assemblies. So yeah, there's a lot of things to consider there. Don't forget the habitability and all that. And as you can see, we're now getting 10 plus assembly on every planet, which is a nice little change. Um, but of course, with the loot basins, we can get this to go way up as the game goes on and we start to develop up our planets. Let's go ahead and add a heavy industry on this planet, and then also build up a few nexus districts to get some assembly, and we're going to do this probably on our energy planet as well. Our home world is, of course, about as high assembly as we're going to get before we start getting planetary processor upgrades, but I mean, to get that, it's really just about finding the techs. So we're just going to hope that we find that as soon as possible. How is our alloy situation or our rare resource situation? Not great. And as we want to get more rare resources, we can just build city districts on our generator world. And that will give us more fabricator jobs, and more fabricator jobs will then convert into more pop assembly and more rare resources. You usually don't want to go too crazy and build too many heavy industries, because you're just going to turn way too many of your minerals into rare resources, and then you'll have to toggle the buildings on and off. And as much as you think I like microing, I don't. I'd rather sit there and watch my empire succeed. But that's not always an option. So yeah, let's go ahead and start building up this arc furnace too. And this is when this build should also start to really start take off in technology. Currently, we're making 600 tech. I would expect this to go up by more than 1,000 per 10 years from here on out, as we really have a lot of planets that are building towards becoming good tech planets. And we also need to do one very interesting thing is we can finally stop prioritizing maintenance drones, as we don't need all this extra Unity anymore, and we can start moving these Unity drones, or drones that are just mostly making Unity, and we can start moving them across our empire to fill out all the tech jobs. This will cause us to lose a lot of energy credits, I believe, so let's go ahead and make sure we remember to buy some before we get our main energy planet online, which could take a little bit. So yeah, we're finally going to get access to a good main energy planet. Or we might need to turn both of these into main energy planets. And I've been trying to survey Deneb for so long, but the amoeba keeps flying in and chasing my ship out. I should probably set it to passive. That would probably let it. Why did I build two? Oops. I built two organic sanctuaries here, and there's not even a single biotrophy. So let's move a few biotrophies over so they can start replicating and doing all that good stuff. So yeah, it's very nice to be able to finally start moving these maintenance drones away. A very, very inefficient way to make Unity. I'm sure somebody can think of something better. But yeah, I'm not a Gestalt main, so I don't actually know the best way to make Unity with a Gestalt Empire. So I did what I thought would work, and it did kind of work. It wasn't the Ascension wasn't too slow, but it definitely was not fast, and we didn't have good tech or economy while doing so. And I believe if I had known how to better take advantage of this build, I'm sure it would have been a much better situation in terms of tech and Unity output. So yeah, any good Gestalt players, please yell at me and let me know what I could do better to rush Unity for Gestalt. As yeah, I do spend most of my time in the game playing as bioempires, as I simply find them slightly more flavorful. But things like a Rogue Servitors are really fun as well, because you can, collect many species and get really fun levels of pop efficiency, and like they're really great for building EQs and stuff like that. And we have corrupt drones. No, why do we have corrupt drones? We have 200 hunter seeker drones. That's the maximum amount. Um, Do we really need to build a? I don't even know what the police station is called. Sentinel posts. Okay, we'll just build that, I guess. And yeah, we're gonna work our way towards high level enhancements. Our Unity isn't moving too fast, but yeah, the mid game crisis is spawning, by the way, in just 15 years, and it doesn't look like we're too ready for it in terms of alloys and such. So we're gonna have to start working on that as well, which should be fun. So yeah, we are just going for Corvette swarms, so we don't really need to find that much tech. But I'll definitely need some. So yeah, let's go ahead and remember to buy let's buy some of that to keep us going, and we're running low on um, dark energy as well. And yeah, once again, we just need to expand our heavy industry just a tiny little bit here for us to yeah, just expand. Oh, we need to prioritize that just to get a little bit more rare resources. But we should have enough pretty soon. Especially since we're going to get more planets that are just kind of half dedicated to alloys. I know it's really weird to not have a dedicated alloy planet, but I think I can use Deneb for a dedicated alloy planet as soon as the game will actually let me survey it, which I guess is working with the science chip on passive. So yeah, there's another tip for you guys. I guess if you can't happen to get something surveyed, science chip on passive might do the trick. It's always a handy little tactic there, and I guess we could also turn this into a nice um, energy planet. I could also turn this into an alloy planet, but I think we'll use Deneb for an energy planet. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's build our usual buildings on all these planets and just go ahead and tech up. So I'm probably going to spend like the next 5 years teching up and just building out the economy, and I'll be back when that is done. All right, looks like I've been building up a bit too long, but no sign of the crisis yet. But I will start building up my military tech as I've been focusing a lot on uh, tech that will help out with our tech, right? And as you can see, we're getting very close to 2K tech now, and I have been, um, I guess, AFK a little bit too long, and we're starting to build up our alloy capacity too. 255 alloys for Gestalt is, of course, not very much. But we are going to be ramping that up soon, and along with ramping up our industrial capacity, it'll make us ready for when the crisis is about to spawn, hopefully. If it spawns early, we would be a little screwed, but it also might not spawn near us, in which case, not our problem. Like, and then we could use that as some extra time to just chill and scale up as um, yeah, we're not really trying to like 1v9 the galaxy and kill all the AI or anything like that. Instead, we're going to focus up on scaling, right? And also, just take a look at this. We got exceptional mineral qualities. Sometimes we get an event pop up that's like, would you like to dig deeper? And you always want to say yes. When you do it twice, you get this plus 25% mineral modifier. So I redesignated this planet as a mineral planet and moved and changed our energy planet to these other worlds. So yeah, this will become an energy world as needed, and then this will become a super super nice, very large premium um, world that we can use a lot for. Oh wow, we ran out of biotroph. Oh, pre-sapient. What the hell is pre-sapient unemployment? I don't even know what that means. That is weird. And this relic activation notification will stand here forever. And also, as soon as this tech finishes, we can go ahead and take our next Ascension perk. As you can see, we've finished out the modularity tree now and started Supremacy. We're making okay Unity. Right, we haven't got around to building simulation sites on every planet yet, which, from what I understand, is the play when you're playing Rogue Servitors. But as you can see, we're kind of just focusing on our tech as yeah, like we've been lacking minerals and we've been lacking rare resources. As you can see, we're remedying both those situations now. And then we can really, really quickly, hopefully, scale up our economy. And, it was a bit of a slow start, but we're starting to accelerate now. And, yeah, get ready for militarization in the future. I've built a lot of resource buildings to hold more resources, right? So that should help us. Ooh, glacial crisis. Um, I mean, I really don't care what kind of planet this is, so right? So it's nothing to worry about, I guess. So we can just let it melt as the end planet type doesn't really affect us as a Gestalt Empire, which is quite funny. Instead, we can just keep on rolling and whatever happens, happens, right? And yeah, we can join the galactic community. There's nothing wrong with that. And also start to eventually assign these planets all special districts as we build up as fast as we can. Um, Yeah, everything's looking nice. I think we should have a pretty solid rare resource economy as soon as we start getting some Nexus districts on this planet going. If we take a look at our pop growth too, that's something I haven't checked for a while. 18 on these other worlds and 56 on our capital. So yeah, we're really starting to get some really good pop growth. And also, it's time to finally pick this Ascension perk, Arcology project. So as soon as we get 20,000 minerals, we can start that on like our capital, and then eventually Deneb as our main mineral planet and that kind of thing. Also, we get another uh, slot here. Constructobot is pretty good, but aside from that, we don't really need Genesis Architects. Catalytic is, of course, pretty good. Rapid Replicator can be good, though you really don't need the extra assembly speed at some point, which means basically I usually find that it's either Warbots for multiplayer, where you need really good armies, or simply, I believe, maintenance protocols. No, not maintenance protocols. There's one that gives you reduced pop upkeep. Yeah, here we go. Built to last, reduced amenities usage. Oh no, this is way worse than it used to be. Built to last used to give minus robot upkeep in general. I don't know if we still have that. OTA updates could be really good then. Or maybe it does still exist and I just don't know what it's called. Oh yeah, zero waste protocols here. Planetary upkeep. That doesn't seem amazing. Because that doesn't seem amazing, I think the play here might be. One funny thing I've seen is you can take, uh, not hyperspace calculations. Where's the physics one, or do you have to start with that? There's one that gives you move speed for ships, and that one is really good too. If I only had to remember what it was called. Uh, yeah, I can't find it, so we're not gonna think about that one. Hyperspace calculations. Yeah, here we go. I hate how they're all different named. Yeah, but yeah, this gives you plus 10% sublight speed, which some people take just for that alone. As I'm not trying to war anyone or that kind of thing, that's not that important. Organic retrofitting is of course really good in multiplayer. We're not in multiplayer. So yeah, it's either zero waste protocols or OTA updates. And let's go with OTA updates as our empire size is getting really big. And this will help us reduce that just a tiny bit. Um, yeah, so maybe that was a token amount, and the robot upkeep would have been a better choice. But yeah, we were not. Yeah, that extra civic slot is not the most important thing in the world. Um, so yeah. Also, why do we still have so few? Okay, this is definitely a healthy amount of gain, but we still need more, as we just need all our tech buildings upgraded as much as possible, and we eventually want to get the planetary supercomputers on them as well, and all that good stuff. And ooh, auxiliary fire control, that is definitely something we need. And Star Fortress, working our way towards mega engineering, of course. Um, I find that no matter when you put the crisis, it usually spawns a later than you specify. So yeah, hopefully the crisis does actually spawn in time, and we're not stuck here waiting for a really long time. But anyhow, we will just continue on and build up our planets and start getting Accuminopolises too, as we do take over to 2K tech with most of our tech in engineering, as we are trying to get that mega structure roll as soon as we can. And yeah, our big empire size is going to hold us back a bit. But we're also going to be ready with 2 star bases ready to start pumping out ships in case we need. And then the rest of our star bases from now on will be dedicated to naval cap and things like resource silos, as I don't want to build ships until I have to. Uh, as yeah, like building ships before you need to is just it just burns resources, and nobody's going to attack you if you just try to get friendly relations with everyone. And yeah, if you don't spawn next to a purifier, you'll just not need ships. And if you do spawn next to a fanatic purifier or a determined exterminator or something in Grand Admiral no scaling, which is generally what I play on almost every single time, you're just gonna get cooked anyway. So yeah, that's not too fantastic. And yeah, we're just going to go ahead and just place these surface umbilicals just absolutely everywhere. We don't really need fauna, so we can just cycle through these cheaper techs. And they're so expensive because our empire size is so huge, which is a bit ridiculous. And I guess we'll just unlock cruisers and therefore battleships sometime down the line, as that will help us. And yeah, I mean, oh yeah, we just still always need more rare crystals. So yeah, let's just bulk buy some and yeah, get ready to build like planetary supercomputers once we get the capital upgrades everywhere, which seems to be still an ongoing process on some of our planets. So yeah, if we take a look at some of these more specialist planets, I'm kind of curious how much we got. 1,000 pops on engineering subroutines, making 300 tech. So that's 10 pops. Is that 30 tech per pop? That's crazy numbers, to be honest, compared to old Stellaris. Yeah, 30 tech, 30 engineering tech per 100 pops. Really, really incredible. And yeah, we're going to have a lot more of those very soon as these Nexus districts start to go up. And yeah, we still haven't found missile tech, which is a bit annoying, but ooh, do we want Unity or Diadem Secundus? No, this is on Diadem Prime, which is a named energy world and designated a mining world, and this does look like it's supposed to be an energy world. So, yeah, it's not too important. Let's get the Unity. And we can just start doing things like naval cap and shields as I wait for our stupid missile tech, which it's so elusive. Anyhow, let's just keep going through these agendas and such, and just waiting for the crisis at this point. Although we might need to build some starter ships just to use some of these alloys, as I'm having trouble using them fast enough. I thought I was building resource silos everywhere. That should help. I don't know why there's a gun battery there. But yeah, let's just focus on these star bases, and hopefully these resource silos will take care of some of our energy, our over indexing in alloys so far for this early in the game. As yeah, I don't want to build terrible ships. I just want to bump out my first set of ships and have them be good. But it looks like that's not going to happen, as I am not rolling missile tech. I should look at the tech tree and figure out what I'm doing wrong. But yeah, that's typically the reason why you are or are not rolling a specific tech, is you're simply not following the best way to do it on the tech tree. And if you do that, you typically don't have problems rolling anything almost at all. So yeah, usually if you're not getting what you need, it's a skill issue. I hate to say it, and yes, I do have a lot of skill issues. So yeah, we'll be back. Alright, guys, and barely a year later, we immediately rolled Swarmer missiles, which was the tech I was looking for. Maybe if we're lucky, we can even get Whirlwind missiles after this ticks over. And, like, just start off with a very, very good ship. I haven't tested this yet, but basically I've heard you can run an artillery computer with corvettes. I'm not exactly sure how. Artillery computer, and then where do you actually put the Whirlwind missile slot? Am I missing something here? How do I get Whirlwind missiles on my ship, on my Corvette? I'm not 100% sure. Maybe we're just supposed to use regular missiles. No, they don't really have the range. 100. Yeah, I believe Whirlwind missiles have like 120 range. Like, how do I get an L slot? I'm not 100% sure. Let me go find the Monty video again. All right, I was apparently mistaken. You cannot put a larger slot on a Corvette. That is still the same. But what you can do is just use a standard missiles like this, which we've had the tech access to for a long time now. We can just build these ships here, and of course we'll be able to get much better ones in the future. But this is pretty good for now. Just give them I think it's the artillery computer that's new, which lets Corvettes be like the ultimate kiting machines, right? As let's see how fast this ship is. Speed only 260, but I mean my tech is very mediocre. So yeah, this ship will get a lot faster as the game goes on. We can call that the Nia Corvette. We do get advanced combat computers now and that kind of thing. So yeah, let's go ahead and go to our fleet manager, and we can just make a little starter fleet of these Nia Corvettes. And I'm really curious to see how they do against much larger fleets, as this is a very interesting ship design that I have never experimented with before, as I usually, of course, go with a good old disruptor cruisers if I'm tryharding, and if I'm not, I use some kind of plasma artillery or that kind of thing. Right, so I'm very curious to see how this kind of ship works. So yeah, I hope it does, because otherwise we could be in trouble, as those crises will be coming soon, I think. Sometimes they just don't spawn because we play Stellaris, and Stellaris doesn't really work. But we will see if that does happen. It should. It should at some point, right? So, yeah. Yeah. Anyways, we could just keep on going ahead and cycling through these techs. I would imagine our tech should be like continuously going up pretty good. Um, and yeah, once we hit like 10k minerals, we can also start EQs on most of our planets, especially as they scale up. And yeah, as we run out of space, we'll put a conductive workplace and a voltaic yard to expand our basic districts. Um, and on other planets, right, like our alloy planet here, we're just going to continuously build nexus districts and stuff. And we're not running out of pop assembly, as you can see. And yeah, very soon we can start, I guess, even taking over our neighbors and using their pops to boost the efficiency of our biotrophies. But first, we do need EQs, as otherwise we're not going to have enough space on our planets to fit the number of biotrophies we're going to get. Um, so yeah, um, I guess we'll just build up some of these fleets. We'll retrofit them with better tech as we get access to it, as there's going to be a lot of different fleets, as we do not have galactic force projection yet, which will probably be our next pick, and then we can go into archaeotech to get the final form of these missile corvettes, which is definitely a pretty funny ship design to be using. I'll see how effective it is against the crisis, and if it isn't, we can obviously just switch back to X slot battleships and that kind of thing. The tried and trusted and habitats. I guess we don't really need habitats, but the habitat like tech weight is like really high. So if you don't pick them, they'll just keep showing up and being annoying. So yeah, we're gonna pick that, and yeah, as you can see, we also have a lot of star bases. Um, yeah, we're just doing this as a early game. This is an early game. This is a mid game source of naval cap, and later on we'll start to spam out fortress planets with some of the planets we take over. As you can see, we've already outscaled most of the Grand Admiral AI, and this will only get like more extreme as the game goes on. I do think the AIs are not very strong with the new updates, especially in tech. It is really easy to catch up and overtake them, compared to how hard it used to be, where you'd have to play a decent build to outscale them in tech this early on. Um, yeah, and nowadays I would say you probably should expect to outscale the AIs pretty soon. And yeah, the last big tech we don't have is orbital rings. I mean, we have a ton of engineering tech. Like, what is this? Almost 2,000. And we just don't have it yet, which means we're not the luckiest, but our empire size is offsetting some of our tech efficiency. What are we getting? Plus almost 2x the tech cost compared to default, right? So that is definitely a little bit sus. But yeah, we're doing fine. Otherwise, we can start to like use our Unity to build like Dyson swarms everywhere, just for a small token amount of extra energy credits, and also as a basis for a Dyson sphere later on would be really nice as well. And yeah, we do need to take over this black hole or something because we need a source of a uh, minerals for late game megastructures, and we don't even have megastructures yet, to be honest, but they should be coming around soon with the amount of tech we're making. Um, yeah, it's just a matter of time, and it looks like it's fluctuating because we're back down to 2K. But yeah, it'll bounce around, but it'll keep going up in the long term, I believe. So yeah, let's go ahead and just keep on upgrading. Um, and yeah, 10k minerals with plus 800 in no time at all. We should have access to turning all our planets into EQs, right? Which will be really helpful. So yeah, we'll be right back. All right, guys. I guess I'm back, and it is time to start making EQs, I guess. So let's go ahead and go to decisions. And yeah, just start clicking up some of these planets. I have not played EQs with Gestalts yet, so I'm very curious. Oh, and we get Marauder missiles too for the maximum tier missiles now. So yeah, I'm just gonna go test out this build on probably our poor neighboring guinea pig here, the Fanatic Spiritualists. We're gonna claim some of their planets and just use them as bastion planets to allow us to increase our naval cap. Um, so that's the plan for the planets, and of course use their pops to fuel our need for biotrophies, right? As the more biotrophies we get, the more efficient our pops are. And if we take a look at this now, I think our pops are already quite efficient, which is really cool. Um, I'm really curious, like how do I tell how efficient the pops are? Like I know there's this one really funny thing where it's like over the cap. So is this like does this mean we're at what like two and a quarter, like 200 and a quarter% efficiency increase? I have no idea how to really understand the new pop system. It's really confusing to be honest. Anyhow, I don't really know what to go for next, and this looks really good, but I'm not 100% sure if this tooltip is even correct. Um, Minus 10% empire size from pops, of course, I'm talking about. So I do want to take synchronicity at some point, but I'm not sure I want to take it now. What else could we take? Statecraft is always good for leveling up our leaders, as that's an extra source of efficiency. Um, so I'm not really sure if I want to do that either. I guess since we're like synth and our leaders basically never die, they'll level up eventually anyway, even though it'll take forever. So synchronicity it is. Um, yeah, I guess. Yeah, we do need to finish our tradition tree at some point, and our Unity is not fantastic, but we'll start to build simulation sites across the Empire at some point, probably now, right? To convert all those random stray pops we have that we haven't noticed to do something useful, which is producing Unity. Um, so yeah, because I'm sure we have maintenance drones basically everywhere on all our planets at this point, because we're just out producing pops compared to what we need. Oops, I don't want a drone storage. I want a simulation site. So yeah, having a simulation site everywhere is going to be quite useful. Also, yeah, as you can see, we have like stray maintenance drones everywhere. One thing you might have noticed is we're running. We need to clear some blockers on some of these planets. Some of these planets are just really big, so it's just about spamming out the remaining build slots. Some of them I need to find these techs, which is annoying. Um, and yeah, the crisis, waiting for it to spawn is always a fun time, as you never know when it'll come or if it will even come because it is Stellaris. So yeah, let's continue waiting here as we don't get a mid game. But I also set late game crisis for year 75. It's pretty funny on my first ever 100x crisis run, or 25x, not 100x. 100x crisis would be crazy. Um, what I did is I set it to spawn at year 100. And lo and behold, that was the one time in Stellaris history, I feel like, that I've played in where the crisis spawned early. And it spawned at like year 78 or something. And I was counting on it to spawn at like a year 125. Because that's when it normally spawns when you set it to spawn at year 100. And as you can imagine, I did not do too well when the millions of fleets came at me, and I hadn't even finished mega engineering tech, like all my mega structures yet. And yeah, we got run down in that game. So I think the crisis is set to 3x here, so that's a much more reasonable amount. Um, so we definitely have a chance to take it on, even if it spawns early, although probably not a good one, especially since we're still lacking a lot of core technologies. For example, if we do happen to need battleships and these corvettes do not work at all against the high level crises, um, then we will be in trouble as we won't really have the ship build speed that we need, and we'll also need a whole bunch of other stuff as well. So yeah, it's definitely going to be a problem. We don't have X slot weapon technology yet, so in case we need that, that's a problem. Um, yeah, definitely a lot of challenging things that we might need to deal with. Um, and yeah, this might also be the point where taking on planetary automation would be a good thing. Corrupted units. Uh-oh. Oh my gosh. I have 500 drones. I guess I guess there's just so many pops. Let's take a look at it. 95 pop assembly. Oh dear. Um, we need an upgraded sentinel post of all things. I didn't ever think I would say those words. Um, as yeah, those are not the most commonly used technologies for sure. I should have taken military theory. That's going to be more useful at this point. And yeah, also on our society tech, I know one of these planets, just one of these somewhere, I have a society zone. Ah, perfect. Here we can build an archaeo studies building and start to produce more rare relics or whatever they're called. What are they called? Minor artifacts. Yeah, minor artifacts, and then we can use those minor artifacts to eventually start building archeo weapons, which is what makes these corvettes very good, apparently, as the archeo missiles or whatever are apparently extremely good. Um, and I guess I'll I have to try it out. So I've heard they're overrated a little bit, but hey, if Amontu made a whole video on it, I'm gonna try it. So yeah, there we go. Yeah. Also, as you can see, we're just utterly flying through text now. It is very hard to even keep up. But yeah, our fleets are not very good, to be honest. 30k per fleet. Um, and only 3 fleets. It's a bit sad for year 60, to be honest, by today's standards. But I mean, I was not fleet rushing, and once again, I'm not a very good Gestalt player. And let's take a look if this even works. Oh, it does work. Um, Synchronized circadian rhythms, synchronized agents. See, this is why I'm never sure if what I'm doing is actually doing anything. Like, because the name doesn't even match. But I'm assuming those mean the same things. And yeah, also our pop assembly is just like hard to keep up with now. Like we're getting piles of maintenance drones everywhere. Though that is leading to crime, and I wonder if I could stop that in any way. I mean, there's so many amenities. Like we just build a second sentinel post, to be honest. Um, yeah, and hopefully we start rolling the Fallen Empire buildings too, as I think Fallen Empire buildings are awesome. And I did take Enigmatic Engineering for a reason, so I think we need Mega Engineering to roll those, or do we? I don't actually know. I completely forgot. Anyways, we have uh, upgraded assembly buildings. Not that we need them at all, but I'm gonna build them anyway because I don't know. It seems funny to have the amount of pops we're gonna have soon. Um, yeah, it is looking like if you want a second Civic, you might want to. If you want an even better late game build, you can add in lubrication tanks later and start the game with Sovereign Guardianship or the Gestalt version of Guardianship, which gives you minus 50% Empire size from pops, which means you can get really close to zero. I think you need the Psionic tech, and you should be at 0 Empire size from pops, right? Yeah, you'd be at 0. I'm not sure if you can roll the Psionic tech as a Gestalt. Thinking about it, it doesn't make much sense. You probably can't. But if you could, that would be hilarious. And you can also get minus 10% Empire size from pops from the Domination tradition. So we might go that later on just to get minus 10% Empire size from pops from that, as we are really, really pushing the Empire size from pops. Yeah, I guess we'll take military buildup, as that's kind of what we're doing. And yeah, as you can see, our military is quite built up, which is nice. And yeah, let's just start building some armies. I don't know what armies we have. Oh, we did not research a single useful army. I guess we'll just go with just raw volume. I don't know which one. Cat cube assemblies are probably strong. Um, oh my god, we're at 20,000 minerals again. We've already got all the way there. So let's do it. Are any of our tech planets even close? I think none of them we managed to clear all the blockers and build out all the the buildings. So let's go ahead and start doing that on some of these planets. Like this planet still has 2 blockers. But yeah, we're getting close, and we're losing energy credits again. And I guess all we can do is just upgrade these arc furnaces, or not these arc furnaces, these Dyson swarms. That sounds like a good idea. Commissioner, is Commissioner the same thing as Admiral? I think military fleet general. What is the equivalent of strategist? Is there a Gestalt equivalent to strategist? I have no idea. Uh, I mean, this seems like a official trait, right? Like focused on commanding fleets, focused on commanding armies, focused on govern. None of these are good. Wow. Okay, there is no strategists. That's a pretty big disadvantage, to be honest. I did not know that about Gestalts. So you do learn something every time you play, which is cool. And like, we just take these blocker clearing techs at this point. And alloys, sure, we're only making 500 alloys, which is honestly really lousy. But one of the reasons, of course, that we forgot to build rings everywhere. So, I mean, I guess we should just start going around and non-discriminately building orbital rings around every single planet to boost up the efficiency there. As yeah, rings are a great source of planet efficiency, especially with the upgraded ring sites. So yeah, just build some construction ships first. Make sure we don't run out of those. And wow, of course, now I get battle frame armies after I queued up an amount of armies where I'm not going to bother to unqueue them, quite frankly. Uh, and yeah, as you can see, we're also burning through energy like crazy, which means we should definitely start to look to clear out some of these. Wow, this planet has a lot of blockers, right? And yeah, clearing out these blockers will definitely help with our empire. So yeah, we need some more energy districts. We have a few available here and there, but also building orbital rings around these planets and increasing the base output will help us a lot. As increasing percent output is not quite as strong as increasing base output. Um, of course, if you only increased base output and had no percentage modifiers, the opposite would be true. But in Stellaris, you tend to have a lot of uh, multipliers, like, plus 200, 300, 400% pop efficiency. So adding just one or two to the base output is a much bigger change to pop efficiency than it is to add more percents which stack on top. And most of the time, percentage multipliers don't multiply together. So, for example, if I have a 1.5x multiplier for pop efficiency, and then I have another 1.5x pop efficiency, I don't get 2.25% efficiency, I just get 50 plus 50%, so 100%. So you lose that extra little bit of multiplicative juice. Um, and yeah, multiplicative modifiers can get really out of hand really fast. Um, so we're not going to worry too hard about that. And wow, we have good influence despite spamming orbital rings everywhere. And this is really uh, kind of a gestalt bonus, I guess, as Bioempire spamming this many rings would need to be considerably more late game, or like have very good leaders or something to have this amount of influence, which is really nice. And we keep dodging mega structures, which is a bit annoying, but yeah, we're also just looking for Archaeotech missiles here. I'm not sure how to unlock the tech, or if you can just roll it out, but we'll find out, as our tech is looking pretty good at this point, to be honest. So yeah, very, very nice. And just remember to clear out these blockers and build out these structures. And wow, we don't have enough maintenance drones on this planet, so hello, cat cubes. Let's dump some cat cubes onto this planet. And there we go. Fix the amenities, just like that. Yeah, annoying that they don't migrate by themselves, so not a big deal. Yeah, as these blockers clear, we're gonna start to fix a lot of problems then. Yeah, as you can see, we're also just flying through text at this point. We don't necessarily need all these techs, but here we go. Also, yeah, I should be looking at more EQs as our minerals are just through the roof, which is really fun to see. Also, I think one of these is labeled as a minerals planet. I just gave up on making this a minerals planet. This is an energy planet now, all right, guys. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about the false advertising. Uh, yeah, I don't even know what I want here. Like, we didn't even have FTL inhibitors because I didn't even have fortress. I guess we have them on our star bases still, but that's pretty funny. Uh, yeah, and yeah, as you can see, we're just kind of going through. We have our alloy planet in Deneb, which is almost done building up, to be honest, which is really cool. Nexus District as well, and yeah, we don't really have enough maintenance drones, so we can just move over a whole bunch from our capital. I'm holding shift, but it's moving 10 at a time. Why? Move 100 at a time, thank you. Oh, I was holding shift and control at the same time. That's my mistake, I guess. Um, and yeah, just fix up the amenities, as I don't want to deal with that. And are we building a ring here? Yes, of course we are. So yeah, we just need rings everywhere. Volcanoes, get rid of those. And yeah, we're starting to see repeatables, which is nice. Year 62. So I'm sure this was probably possible before in Stellaris, but something feels a little stronger. I don't really know. It definitely is pretty fucking strong. So yeah, also, we still have a lot of influence. It is time to claim our neighbors. I'm honestly too lazy to check which planets have high pops and which ones don't. But since we're a filthy gestalt, we can afford to claim up a ton of space for not that much influence. Oh, and we get Citadel. No wonder I couldn't find. Uh, no wonder I couldn't find megastructures I didn't even have arc furnaces. So yeah, that's a bit of a shame. And yeah, we'll just fly through these techs. And how's our armies looking? 1K. That's all right, I guess. We can hire another leader. Doesn't really matter much. I'm too lazy to pick the correct kind of leader. Um, and if we go to our army hub, I believe we have battle frames now, which are definitely a little bit better than what we had before. And yeah, if I was mini-maxing this, I'd also create a species template with like the army traits, and then I would have a few of them at least in my empire, and then I would use those um, to train up armies that are really really powerful that we can have, and yeah, all that good stuff. I'm not bothered though. This is not multiplayer. We don't need to sweat that hard. And yeah, as you can see, all the Grand Admirals, they're just fully pathetic, and we can declare war. Ooh, they have a bulwark. Don't really care. And yeah, let's fly our ships over. We probably should have flown our ships over before declaring the war, but it's not a big deal. Um, so yeah, we can also research cloaking, I guess, and therefore uncloaking. Um, yeah, and we also need to upgrade our food production just a little bit. As you can see, we're a little lacking. So yeah, get some extra food should be nice, and yeah, just finish out some of these techs. Um, yeah, where is their bulwark? Um, oh, I guess they're not dragged into war with them, or is it this little guy? I think it's this little guy. Poor guys, they had like 4 systems. So yeah, they shouldn't put up too much resistance then. And ancient saturator artillery. Nope, we still don't have the ancient cloud missiles or whatever they're called. And yeah, with this amount of ships, I guess it's not a good litmus test for how powerful are these ship designs, but yeah, it's just funny to be using Corvette swarms this late in the game, I guess. Where you'd normally be seeing battleships and cruisers or something like that, we are using Corvettes. This would make Genius Armor still really, really broken. I don't even know if Genius Armors. I think that's not even a just stealth thing. That's a bio only. Basically, what they did is they gave extra hit points, flat amount of hit points to your hull, or not your hull, your HP. Yeah, I guess that is hull. Um, and that was, of course, extremely good when compared with lighter ships. As a percentage, you got a crazy amount of hull, uh, which is definitely fun. So, yeah. Also, let's just make sure we're building out these planets and clearing up all the blockers. And I think this planet can click up to a EQ now. Decisions, ecology project. Oh, I'm missing a district. What am I missing? Ah, there's a food district here for some reason. So Nexus district. Oh, that must be from the pre-sapiens. I just realized. And there's 4 blockers here. Wow. We don't have dangerous wildlife tech yet. Still. What about this planet? Okay, four cities left. And yeah, as you can see, our tech is doing really well. Like for year 62, it's not the best, but it's not bad. You can't say that year 62. You would expect like a crazy amount more than this, even on really strong builds like clone armies. Except clone armies are so much stronger earlier in the game that it does feel like a bit of a different tier of build. Very very strong. Also, I heard that rapid deployment is actually good for the weapons range with this build, so that's cool, I guess. Um, and also, let's fly over our armies finally, and just get ready to take some of these planets as fast as we can. As many armies as we can get will help. Put them on aggressive. That means they'll automatically in. Oops, excuse me, got a burp there. They'll automatically invade any planet they come across that they can have. They have enough strength to take on. Um, and I think that's definitely a very worthwhile thing. Yeah, and these fleets are not terrible. They're getting like 50k, which is cool, I guess. Let me actually grab one of these and just send them over this way, so that they can start just messing up the opponent on that side as well. Um, and yeah, I really like Corvettes in the sense that they're really fast, and I normally use cruisers, which are considerably slower. And it's actually noticeable. Like, how fast are these ships? Um, 313, and I know they can still get faster as our techs get better, so that's very nice. I remember seeing Montu's late game ones were like 400. We'll see if we can get there. I'm not sure if I can, but we'll see. And wow, we also have a crazy amount of planets. Yeah, we can start upgrading these rings. And oh, is this planet ready to become an ECU? Nope, of course, we're missing one singular district. Um, it's really hard to keep up, to be honest. I think this planet is ready for an ECU, right? Ready for an ECU. No, not colony ascension. I hate the decision button being down here. So yeah, we got to get some more ECUs, and this ECU is almost done as well, so that's pretty exciting. We don't have enough influence now for a Star Fortress, but we're getting 10 a month, so we don't have to be too impatient with that. And yeah, I find that also, like, the raw economy numbers are so good in Stellaris now. You really don't need to take vassals of the AIs, as it gives you so little compared to just scaling up your own economy or taking their planets over, which is a nice change, because vassal spam was definitely the worst single player meta of all time, in the sense that it was just unfun to play single player when all you do is take vassals. Um, and even diplomatically taking vassals was just one of the best things you could do. It was a little bit boring for sure. And wow, our ships are also, um, yeah, just sweeping through them. Like there's absolutely, it's like butter, smooth like butter. I would continue, but copyright strikes are not fun. And yeah, let's just path our armies into every system and take those over as fast as we can. Yeah, and as you can see, we're just running through and getting every late game tech as soon as we need, basically. Yeah, this is very, very nice. Look at the price of dark matter. It's unbelievably expensive, yet we're just buying it with no problem. That's pretty fun. Um, yeah, and this can now start to ascend to an EQ, and yeah, we're just kind of waiting on influence numbers now. Um, so a bit of an unfortunate timing there. Oh, we got a little sneaky, sneaky bunch of ships here. Um, let's make sure we take that before they intercept our armies here, as we don't want to take any damage with our armies. And I'm really curious. I want to watch this. Like, shoot some missiles. Shoot some missiles, guys. I want to see. I want to see some missiles shoot. I'm not seeing any missiles. We need to find stronger targets that don't have 1 HP. Um, and ooh, our first EQ. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we get. So we get sanctuary ecologies, and I believe this is the fun part, right? Is you build some sanctuary ecologies, and you can get a crazy amount of biotrophies. And then your specialized arcologies, um, well, let's just build them up and see what happens, I guess. Oh, and we get some extra city districts. Cool. I guess we'll build that up too. No harm in that. And yeah, we can also just turn this into a dedicated tech planet as well. We really don't need industry. I mean, look at 400 consumer goods. We don't need 400 consumer goods. Let's just go with a physics enclave or something like that. Ooh, no, that's going to delete our lubrication basin. So can we go with? Ooh. Okay. Let's. Yeah, that's fine. We don't need any. We don't need this planet to produce more pops. To be honest, we have so many pops on this planet. Um. Yeah, let's just go with physics specialization or something like that, because we'll probably need some more physics. Um. And then we can change the archives out for a physics specialization too. Why not? Um, yeah, because we're gonna have the sanctuary ecologies to house all our biotrophies finally. So yeah, that's gonna be awesome. And yeah, let's just start to get every non-basic resource planet we have upgrading to an ecology as soon as we can. I know some of these are probably still like having districts and stuff. Like this still needs one Nexus district, and this should be clicked up. Nope, not Ascension. Boom. Yeah, I like how I'm just like sim sitting my planets while in the middle of war with this poor AI that is getting absolutely blasted. Yeah, and if I remember to move my armies around faster, I'm sure they would fall sooner, but I'm sure they're racking up the war exhaustion pretty quickly. Um, yeah, we're still missing some of the text that we really want, but at this point, and we're getting repeatables. We're just waiting for the end game crisis. Although we're gonna need way more alloys, to be honest. which is why am hoping that we get this Deneb running as soon as we can. Um, as I'm gonna hope to get like at least 5 to 10,000 alloys per month. And we still don't have mega shipyards either, even with 4,000 engineering tech, which is a really stupidly high amount. But alas, we are still waiting. We also need some extra biology tech, as we still need to remove those blockers. So, as soon as that comes around, we'll be looking for that. But yeah, in the meantime, I'm just gonna wait for the crisis now. And of course, if we find mega structures, I'll unpause. Alright, I thought I would just do a quick little cut just to show a little bit of microing planets. It is pretty important to start to add specific facilities to your planets with rings, as you really need to get the ring structures going, such as this alloy processing facility, to get the absolute most out of your planets. Um, so yeah, that's kind of what we're doing, and I'm also curious how many like arcologies, like how much each sanctuary arcology holds. So 1,500 biotrophy jobs. So each one of those is going to be like a 15% increase in the efficiency of our pops. So we're gonna get, and we can get a lot of them. Look at the amount of space we have uh, on this EQ. I really don't even know how EQs work. It's because it's my first time playing with them in Stellaris 4.x. I've been playing with regular planets in the early game, mostly experimenting with fun builds to show you guys. And yeah, this is my first game playing into the late game for a long time. At least the late game for me is like year 70. So, still no crisis, by the way. So, thanks, game. At least we'll support the galactic market. Yeah, so that's kind of the micro we're doing here. And let's see their war exhaustion. They're getting close. So yeah, we're just going to continue to fly our large armies through and just take over as many planets as we can. We sent another army with 2,000 over just to try to speed things up, and we're just, continuing to take whatever techs and look for mega engineering, which is definitely taking a while, unfortunately. And of course, the society tech that eludes us here. um, and yeah, we're also just waiting on influence for a lot of planets to get the arcologies going as well. Um, and we're also slowly working through the last part of the tradition tree. Of course, it's really slow because even with over 2,000 unity, with the amount of raw empire size we have at almost 1,000 now, our actual tech number is not as impressive as it seems. So, yeah, that is one problem with good old Rogue Servitors here is your empire size is not your friend. Uh, yeah. Anyhow, yeah, we're flying through this AI too. Like, yeah, they should allow us to achieve our goals now. We didn't claim their whole empire, as I don't want to deal with that much, and we didn't have the influence for it, of course. Um, and if we take a look at this now, we should have gained a whole bunch of new planets. And what we're going to do with these planets is pretty simple. These are all going to be bunkers. As you can see, we're at our empire size cap. And we're just going to replace these district specializations with planetary defenses. That's all we want. We want as much planetary. This is a great planet, by the way. Size 25, doesn't matter. All you're going to do is be a massive bunker planet. And let's go ahead and set the specialization. Um, oh, it's not in a sector, so let's add it to a sector. And dedicate it to a fortress world. And yeah, that's what we're gonna do with basically all these planets. And, like, look at the way these empires run their planets. It is not pretty. Um, and yeah, we're also gonna want as much assembly as possible on these planets at the beginning. So it's probably worth building like a lubrication basin and all that good stuff. And yeah, we're gonna have a lot of unhappy biotrophies. And we're gonna start migrating these onto our capital. Um, so yeah, they should start auto migrating too to wherever they can find biotrophy slots. So that's all fine. And one of these should probably be a food world. So let's see. Like, this planet is naturally a decent planet for food. So let's go ahead and do that. And well, look at these. They don't have an energy grid on their energy planet with three. Oh, the AIs, they hurt my. Why is there a sanctuary enclave? They're not even a rogue server. I wonder that converts from. Um, yeah, I wonder if there would be a way for the Stellaris devs to rewrite the way they do their empires, because man, does it hurt to look at. So Yeah, because they really don't run efficient empires out here. They really don't. And yeah, we're getting to the late game techs now as well, which is really nice to see. And we're also just working on making our plants more efficient, as our 42 workers here are making 600 alloys, which is definitely pretty good, but not amazing. I believe that's 15 alloys per pop, something like that. We would like to get that up to like 70, which is definitely possible. It's even possible in 3.x Stellaris, so hopefully we can get that. And yeah, let's just also make sure that we're getting the EQs wherever we can. As yeah, we're just waiting on influence, aren't we? Oh, we get another tradition, and I think it's got to be domination. No, this is pop amenities usage. No, no, no. Adopting all domination traditions grants minus 10% empire size from pops. We desperately need that, as you can see, as our empire size is well over 1,000 now. Um, and I don't know what we're gonna convert our homeworld into. We could really do anything with it. It could be alloys. It could be tech. Um, we will see, right? Oh, we can turn these into like research enclaves or sanctuary enclaves. Oh, that's really cool. Um, let's just go with research for now. And the nice thing is these convert pretty quickly, right? So we can rapidly switch between what we need. Like if we need alloys for late game, that shouldn't be a problem. Um, Nice. Again, as you can see, our energy sucks again. So maybe we need to. Yeah, this will be a great spare generator world. Machine assembly plant, hyperlubrication basin, uh, organic sanctuary, and then a bunch of energy districts. So yeah, we're gonna just keep marking these planets, having fun doing that, and we'll be back when something in the galaxy happens. So yeah. All right, one of my tech EQs just finished. So let's go ahead and look at what we got. So we got um, residential ecologies, which will make 600 tech jobs per. That seems pretty good. Oh, but if we build all of these, our planet will run out of districts. So let's of course build a couple sanctuary ecologies and one specialization in each to unlock the building slots in those. And then we can go ahead and start upgrading the orbital ring to give us some extra building slots to work with. And yeah, we're gonna need a lot more deviancy control as well. And yeah, that's definitely trying to stack up to be a pretty big problem. But I'm looking for the Fallen Empire building for Sentinel posts, and hopefully we can slap a few of these on there, and that will give us more than enough. If we take a look at the pop assembly on some of our more built-up planets here, um, yeah, just ridiculous amounts, like 60. I believe it's probably only slow because the pop count is so high already, like 20,000 pops. That's the same as 200 pops, and we're just overflowing on maintenance drones. Which is why having a simulation site on every planet is doing good. And I believe there's even one more upgrade to the simulation site, so it could be a lot better even on top of that. And it's just about I have to go ahead and find that, of course. And yeah, we're also remember to go to all your star bases and upgrade them and add in the necessary buildings. Yeah, I've been slacking on that quite a bit. Like one of our main energy planets, I believe, doesn't even have a ion stratosphering thingy. So yeah, we got to add that to all our planets as we get those, and yeah, increase our basic economy. And yeah, it's pretty interesting. I have 8K tech now, but with 1,240 empire size, that is the equivalent of like 3,000 tech and a regular empire size of like 4 to 500, or like 3 to 500. So our tech is actually not great. Our naval cap is using a ton of our alloys, so I'm kind of curious how many alloys you can get out of one planet. Um, yeah, we're already out of biotrophy space here, so that arcology is going to help a ton with squeezing in as many biotrophies as we can. And yeah, we might need to find a way to start, getting access to more of these biotrophies because our natural growth is just not very good. But of course, we have a ton of them like scattered around, so we should be able to find some. And yeah, I don't want to deal with dig site on my planets. So yeah, like I'm still also waiting for the crisis to spawn. Oh, somebody died. Not a big deal. Um, so yeah, I'm not really sure what I should do in the meantime besides just continue to skip. All right, guys, I've been having a fun time clicking away. It's now year 82. no crisis yet. I think we'll call it at year 100, if no crisis by year 100. Um, yeah, I guess we have good resources too, so it's not too bad. Funnily enough, we still have tier 3 shields. Yeah, even with this much tech, it's pretty surprising. You'd find that it's actually relatively hard to find specific tech still. Simply because of our empire size is genuinely slowing us down so much. It's I guess it's a good thing to take note of, right? Is if you are doing a tech rush empire, rogue servers actually aren't the best choice despite good numbers. Um, Simply because, yeah, the empire size here is definitely offsetting any of the other gains that we would get. And we also need to get some society tech, as our society tech is really falling off. And oh, this is Deneb. Why am I building a research specialization? I should be building a heavy industry. Right, I don't know we're alloy capped, so let's go ahead and just add more corvettes. Um, yeah, apparently we're still using corvette swarms, so yeah, we'll see how this works. I mean, they're decently powerful. I mean, 100k per fleet is nothing to laugh at, nothing to scoff at. Um, right? So yeah, I mean, yeah, nothing wrong with this, I guess. We're also yet to find jump drives, as our tech in our physics has not been good for most of the game, as we've been trying to find megastructures. Yet, I'm gonna be completely honest, I have not found it yet. So, um, yeah, we're gonna have to keep working towards that. Build up these specialized arcologies and just continue to do our best to try to find them, right? No point in giving up, but yeah, we just need to keep working at it and we'll find it eventually. So, yeah, we just haven't been too lucky. With this amount of tech, even with what, like 1.3k empire size, it shouldn't have been as hard as it was. And we also do find auto forges, which is going to be really nice as we can kind of fill up some of the extra space on this planet with auto forges. Like we get a galactic market at year 83. Haha, AI games are always funny. So yeah. Anyways, um, I'll be back, guys. I'm pretty excited. We finally found megastructures. Way too late, but it's better late than never. And of course, um, everyone who's played a lot of Stellaris and set up for an early crisis that never came, as yeah, this is not a rare occurrence, but we are not getting our crisis yet. So yeah, we're gonna continue to build up these Corvette swarms. I'm not sure if we'll ever need them at this point, but yeah, let's. Yeah, I mean, we need more shipyards if anything. So yeah, I've been building more shipyards. Um, yeah, we don't need this much naval cap. We're getting most of the naval cap now from some of these planets that are just fortress worlds. So yeah, any amount of extra naval cap we could get through, or extra assembly we can get is good, as our alloy income is really strong now, almost plus 2,000, and this is only going to increase a lot as if you take a look at this, we have so much space left on these planets for a ridiculous amount of jobs. Like we have these auto forges that give us the jobs to produce a ridiculous amount of alloys. Um, so yeah, we're gonna get like much higher in that as well, and our tech continues to just spike through the roof. I'm curious what we can get to by year 100. So yeah, very very nice, and of course we're gonna start to build up some mega structures too. No problems with that. Oh, I missed the pop up, but yeah, it looks like the crisis has finally spawned, which is amazing. Um, and where is the situation log for that? Do we not get a situation log yet? Okay, I wonder when that pops up. So that should be relatively soon. We can work on our explosive weapons as well. And also, we can just, try to find the technologies we need um, to finally start building some mega structures. I don't think our ships are very sufficient, to be honest. Our tech for them is not really good. I'll just get a world cracker, I guess. I don't know why I'm building a world cracker. I really don't need it, but mm, let's just go ahead and yeah, we'll trust in the corvettes for now. And if it doesn't work, we're gonna switch to battleships. This is why I really wanted mega structures, though, right? Is if I had a mega shipyard, I could pivot my fleets so much easier. Instead, we're kind of stuck with this really slow production, and our alloy world, despite having I've been building on it since basically the very beginning, is not quite ready yet. Um, and why can't I build these hyperforges on this specialist. Oh, have we not specialized it yet? Um, special arcology. Hello? What? Um, why can I only build the hyperforges on these slots? I mean, that's fine, I guess. I'll focus on building up. Or can we only have 3 hyperforges per planet? I swear you are already. Yeah. Okay, I guess we'll build regular alloy foundries there. That's fine with me, I guess. Um, we also get 600 fabricator jobs per city district, right? So that seems good. Yeah, okay, you awake your psionic abilities. Good job, AI. You really did it. Yeah, it's always funny to see the AI struggling to do basic things by very late. They need to buff the AI. This is Grand Admiral difficulty. And players are stronger than ever, yet AIs are weaker than ever. It feels a bit off, and we can't save this because we're building it currently, and I'm too lazy to do anything about that. So we're just gonna continue to build up these suboptimal corvettes until we're not building them, and or our queue finally goes through. Um, yeah, I think it's time to start ascending a colony as well, right? As what we're lacking most appears to be alloys. So let's ascend our alloy planet first to tier 5. And that will give us an Ecumenopolis foundry too. And we get a sentry array as our first megastructure option. So we'll pass the tech with plasma throwers and try again. Gale speed will be good as well. Help us with our kiting. And yeah, just wait for the crisis, which at least is confirmed to be coming soon. So we'll have something to fight soonish. Soonish. Once it fully spawns in. I don't really know which one I got. I honestly reached the end game so little, I don't even know what crisis we're about to get. Yeah, and how funny is it that the single civilian fabricator is supplying us with like what 255 consumer goods? I love it. And you were getting 2,300 alloys from that one ECU2, which is pretty wild to be honest. Like, how much is this actually giving us? Oh, it's only giving us 2,100. Well, that's still really good, right? So, and giving us a ton of trade and other stuff as well. Of course, there's just a ridiculous amount of pops on this planet. This is the equivalent of 359 pops, and it's only going to go up. So, yeah. I still don't understand why. Are we limited to 3? Oh, the planet limit for autoforges is 3. Okay, I see. How many? So this gives us 300 fabricator jobs. That gives us 300 fabricator jobs, and this gives us 600 fabricator jobs. So why would we ever build specialized arcology? Um, I don't get it. You'd always just build residential arcologies, right? And or sanctuary arcologies to increase your biotrophy count, which honestly I think would be a more efficient use of jobs, to be honest. I'm really curious. We have 10,000, so about 100 pops making alloys. And how much alloys are we getting? 2,000. So we're getting 20 alloys per pop, something like that. So good, but not incredible. Oh, we finally get the dimensional replicator too. That will help us with our ultra rare resources. So there's the rare resources, right, which are there. We have an infinite amount. Looking at that, but Zro, dark matter, nanites, we still have a very limited amount. How do we eventually get enough of that? Well, that is what the dimensional replicator will help us with, and why I took enigmatic engineering to help roll these fallen empire buildings. Also, where is that crisis? We're gonna find it soon, guys. We're gonna find it soon. And yeah, as you can see, our tech speed is just so slow. Even with 7K engineering tech, we're not really getting through them that fast. Um, so yeah, did we specialize these arcologies yet? Yeah, we did. All right, perfect. We're gonna go ahead and just cover them with research labs, I guess. I don't see why we would do anything else with these tech planets. And yeah, it just feels funny just having seen this many research labs on one planet. I do really like to see it. I like that you no longer need rings to build maximally efficient tech planets, which I think is very cool, to be honest. And one of these tech planets somewhere, one of them is the one with my archaeo tech as well. My archaeo studies building. I don't really. Oh, it's this one. Here we go. Um, And honestly, these should be dedicated towards society since they have the archaeotech. Though I probably should have just deleted the archaeotech and moved it to a planet with society instead of the other way around. Um, as yeah, but we want some of those extra archeo drones producing. Um, wait, are they producing? They should be producing. I forget what they're called. Minor artifacts, and I think they are. So, Science Nexus. Okay, and where is Mega Shipyard? We somehow still dodge Mega Shipyard. Yeah, pretty wild, I guess. I'm gonna wait till the is this the no, that's not the crisis. We're gonna wait till we see the full crisis. I got the pop up, but they're not spawning yet, so hopefully they spawn soon. A quick update, guys. It's I mean we're going strong, but the game is starting to get really laggy. Maybe because of the sheer number of corvettes we have. I do think it would be nice if the game had a way to compress the number of ships. Okay, we got a deviant. I'm starting to think that what I thought was the crisis was probably just like a deviancy signal or something that I misread. And we're not getting a crisis because we don't see it yet. And yeah. Well, there is just a few more things to do, I guess. Is we do need to eventually make a Dyson Sphere, as our energy credits are going to be unsustainable. Um, but that does mean we need to finish a regular megastructure first, and to finish a regular megastructure first, well, we're going to need to wait for the Science Nexus site, as we did not get um, the Mega Shipyard yet, which is usually one of the fastest megastructures to build, and a really excellent one as well. We're at 21k tech, as our tech numbers are starting to become meaninglessly large, except for the fact that we actually need it because our empire size is so big that if we don't have that kind of tech numbers, we're simply not going to do that well um, in terms of tech output. And yeah, we have a ridiculous number of bio trophies on Deneb now as well, helping our fabricator output a little bit. And yeah, we even have neglected bio trophies on our homeworld, right? So we can move some of these over, as you know, there's just a few too many cat girls over there. Um, and yeah, I mean, like we're getting decent growth in terms of pops, but yeah, just having problems waiting for the crisis, right? And I'm really sorry, but if it doesn't spawn by year 100, I'm gonna end the video. Um, but if I see any comments asking me to continue, like this is an Iron Man save, so I mean I'm perfectly happy to. It's just this video is approaching 2 hours long, and I'm stuck here waiting for a crisis, and this is also why I kind of dislike Endgame, as I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. Am I supposed to be building more fleets? Am I supposed to be um, taking every planet in the galaxy to minimax? Right? I don't really want to. I mean, I think I'm gonna have a 10k naval cap by the time all these fortress worlds are done building, and I turn all of those into EQs as well, except at least the ones that aren't producing basic resources as well. Um, I guess the one thing there is to do after this would be to replace all the bunkers with Fallen Empire buildings, but that's just a lot of tedious clicks, which would be really fun to see. Ooh, we do get mega shipyards, so let's go ahead and click on that. Make sure we get that, as extra ship build speeds in case we need to replace massive amounts of corvettes is going to be very useful. Um, and yeah, I'm regretting choosing corvettes just based on the lag alone. I don't think I've ever seen like this is fast on my computer, which is a blazing fast system. Relatively speaking, I think the processor could be better, but it's like a I got a 4080 and all that stuff, and it's you know we're just clinging on to having enough performance here. So um, yeah, I guess what we can do is we also need more energy credits, like to a crazy extent. So boom, let's just add 1,000 energy credit buy, as I'm pretty sure we have more than enough trade to do that. Yeah. So, um, yeah, so our energy credit demand is just going to go through the roof, right? And there's honestly no way to sustain this except, oh, we get jump drives. So we can retrofit all our ships with jump drives after that is done. Um, Yeah, I really don't need defense plat. I hate the auto text, even though I have it on because I got tired of clicking the text while AFK every few months. We're almost at 25k tech, and this is probably going to be worth a screenshot. And I also probably want to get every resource into the positives for that, just because it looks a little bit better. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's buy 105 consumer goods. Um, and energy-wise, I guess we're just gonna have to hope this gets us into the positive. This one ionization area, but I don't think it will. So yeah, let's just buy 2,000 energy per month. Why not? We're not gonna be able to afford that on trade. It looks like. Um, so that kind of stinks. Anyways, let's continue our. Whoa, like that zoom in, right? Like that is not the normal FPS I'm used to seeing. Hopefully the recording isn't losing too many frames. Global pacifier, sure. Ooh, existential expulsion, one of the nicest casus bellis. Not that we need that. Let's research something else. Yeah, more explosive weapon damage, I guess, is. We're just going to repeat that as much as we can. And, ooh, we ran out of buildings here, so let's go ahead and get more buildings. More engineering specialization, sure. Just get more explosive repeatables, and yeah, like 11k engineering tech. Really wild to see. And we get scum and villainy everywhere, and I'm building hyper relays because I don't know what to do. And we don't have enough ability to use the alloys. We literally can't use our alloys fast enough with corvettes. Um, Pretty crazy. I mean, with almost 4k alloys per month, it is really tedious to keep up with these alloys. And whoa, I'm getting some real performance funniness. I mean, yeah, like I have no idea what I should be doing. I could be adding more planets via habitats, right? But that that's a that's a lot of rare resources. Let's sell some of those for profit, shall we? Sell. I don't know how much to sell, so 100 per month seems like a reasonable amount, and that should bring our trade back into the positive, which looks good. And that will let us buy, like, let's say an extra 600 energy credits, which should look good as well. And let's build up a little bit more energy. How much, like, yeah, the energy production usage is insane as well. We are just using so much energy. Um, yeah, if we ever get the energy repeatable, we should probably be doing that at this point. I don't know what neutron sweeping is, but I'm gonna research it. I guess that's a Colossus weapon or something like that. Yeah, like unbelievable numbers, but I honestly don't know what to do with it. Like oh, drone rampage. No. I believe, is it a decision on the planet like networked biotrophy output, sure. I mean, sure. Or is it? Oh, I think it's probably a edict, isn't it? Yeah, networked dominance. Nope, we don't need that. What is that? Stability? Okay, yeah, sure. Extra stability. Networked movement. Networked amenities. I mean, we have so many amenities. I was hoping that there was one of these uh, networked things for drone overdrive. Nope. I need extra. I am losing my train of thought. I've been here for too long. Um, I need extra deviancy control, right? And we're just not hitting it. The ghost signal. I feel like that sounds like the start of a crisis. Let's wait and see what happens. Actually, that's exciting. Yeah, okay. What we need to do here is we need to go to our fleet manager, and we actually need to fix these Corvette designs. Um, let's make sure we have that. We have jump drives. We have the best combat computers now, but unfortunately, we never did find the nanocloud missiles, I believe. So I mean, we've probably passed it because we've been on auto tech for so long. So let's do fleet manager, ship designer. Did this let us save? Okay, let's save this as we're currently not building any ships, I think. That's what that means. And we're going to need to click upgrade on every single fleet. Um, yeah, I wish there was a faster way to do this because this is annoying and using my scroll wheel is not sensitive enough. So let's drag this bar. Yeah, this is a little tedious, but yeah, we'll do that. And yeah, hopefully that's the crisis because I don't want to wait any longer if I can help it at all. Um, ooh, strategic coordination center, nice. And I should probably start building this mega shipyard and all that as well, as we don't have that yet. So mega shipyard site can only build this in binary or trinary systems. Oh, Cirrus, you are a binary or trinary. Oh, cannot. I wasn't trying to build you in a binary or trinary system. Oh, that is a binary system. I apologize. I need an uninhabited single system. Oh no. Was that event not the crisis and just um, the ghost signal? I swear this is a crisis, the start of a crisis. Hurry up. Hurry up, ghost signal. Please. Alright, we'll wait till something we see something. Alright guys, it's been a while. The ghost signal, I looked it up. It is the start of the contingency. But it's simply getting really late. So if I see any comments saying I should continue and try to fight off the crisis, let me know and I'll do so. Otherwise, I'm going to call it here for a day. So thanks a lot for watching. I really appreciate it if you made it all the way to the end. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.